Okay, so it's now Sunday. What's the time again? October 19th. So my book should have been out by now. They wanted it on the 10th, but dragged my feet a little bit. But in doing so, I get a little bit more information, such as the good guys hiding in the elemental universe. So the story I'm about to tell you, it's basically it can go two ways here, but I have to put the safety of those people in that elemental universe first. Um, in the event that there's a way that evil is trying to manipulate me into getting in there somehow by allowing mother to become pregnant. It would be like if she becomes pregnant, it's theoretically possible that the black holes that's created inside the fetus when it's creating all creation could reverse back. It could allow them to go back into that elemental universe and find those good people and get rid of them once and for all. And then I won't have any way to get my UFOs if they get rid of them. Then they just got to come here and get rid of mankind one more time, and it's over for everybody. So I have to, make sure I keep that in perspective. So I'm always assuming that these guys have always got rid of me with the the story about them coming here pretending to be the good guys. So for 9 lives, that's what they did. They came here, got rid of me, you know, and now, they're on the 10th life. It's very complex decision making. So, you know, they could be manipulating the situation to get me to not release the book so that mother will become pregnant as another way to try to get into that universe. You know, um, so I have to theorize that that's what's going on. So I theorize that they're trying to use mother as a vessel to reverse the flow of electricity or electromagnetism of the universe, which UFOs use for moving back and forth, to get into the other universe somehow, some way. Using me is the mechanism because uh, getting me to purify myself of all the sins that I've ever done, um, and without telling her about who she is, allowing her to become pregnant would basically create like a gray magnetic wave. Um, so the magnetism of that wave would be positive, but the electricity would be negative because the evil grandmother is still alive. Um, Basically, if I run, I could destroy the grandfather spirit, um, and then grandmother would still be alive. And it's that transition between positive and negative, because that's basically what a magnetic wave is. There's on the top side it's positive, on the bottom side it's negative, right? So if the magnetic wave is positive, and she's negative, it might, in theory, allow the electric wave to begin flowing back and forth into that universe. Basically, they could travel a spaceship into that universe. If they could do that, if that spaceship has weapons on it, and those other spaceships don't have weapons, then we could be in trouble. Is what I'm trying to say. So I have to analyze that as one of their possible battle strategies. And there's a lot of complexities going involved in that because my computer recently broke and it said low battery. So the low battery makes me assume that I have to exercise and not release my book because the battery on my computer died. But that computer, it's not a Mac, so I can't trust the information from the spirits inside of the Mac. I mean, inside of the laptop, because the electricity in there and everything in that computer, it's come from the evil side of creation because it's a PC. Whereas Mac, it's the spirits in that computer are good. So I theorize that the spirits and have got me to get that computer to break it down. Like the power, when you plug it in, it doesn't work anymore. The power cord doesn't work. So I took it to Staples last month to try to get the new charger, but it wouldn't work either. So I assumed it was a message from the spirits telling me my battery's low. I need to exercise. Um, and then not release the book, because if I couldn't work on the computer, then I can't release the book. So that's what informed made my decision to not tell the world about what's going on, and just write the book, and just exercise, and then not say a word. But in doing so, that's when the danger of mother becoming pregnant, possibly in December or February. I theorize it's February that she becomes pregnant, but from the movie The Seventh Sign with Demi Moore. She becomes and there's this, your baby's due on February 29th. So it means that mother is potentially supposed to get pregnant on February 29th. And that's when this plan could be activated that I'm about to tell you. So if I make a mistake and don't hurry up and release the book and let mother know that she could potentially become a weapon for evil, we could be in trouble. So that's today's little epiphany. So that's why I told you before, I'm going to continue to write the book. I'm just going to write it in a manner that's contains the most relevant information, such as this new information where I exercise. People could perish through dopamine if I purify the dopamine all by myself, or watching and listening to my voice on the computer screens when I become 100% pure muscular. So there's a danger that I need people to be made aware of. But right now, the more pressing danger is mother becoming a weapon for evil. So I believe there's a little bit of manipulation going on where they're trying to use me as a weapon to get into that universe by not telling mother about her becoming pregnant. She is the mother of all creation, and there's a great deal of power that comes with that. And that's why I'm writing the book, to stop her from becoming pregnant. But there's other information that I needed, such as the stuff I just recently discovered, right? Plus this information here about potentially how they want to get into that universe is really critical and important. I'm going to go with that as being the story, because to me it makes sense. It's logical. It's logical that they're trying to reverse the flow of electricity to fly into that universe and get rid of the bad guys the good guys once and for all, so that they can come over here and get rid of mom and dad once and for all and have all creation in themselves. If I don't have that the backup over there, then we're kind of screwed. So I'm going to go with that as the final story. So I'll put it in the book, and if I don't put it in the book, at least you'll find it here on this these lists. And that's my fastest way to release the book, because I'm almost done the book. I got about 50 more pages to cut, copy, and paste. So once I could go to the library tomorrow and go do that work. I could probably get the book done tomorrow, if not in a couple of days or a few days of working at the library all day and getting it done. And then when it's ready to release, I'll release it. And then I'll tell people to come watch these videos. So that's my plan, my strategy, because what I'm about to teach you is worst case scenario. And I have to put worst case scenario first, despite what, I may think. So what we're looking at here is a series of videos that I'll include in the playlist. You won't see it for quite some time, but it'll be in the spirituality and science playlist. I have to get caught up to speed on that one. I'm working on that one. It's like a movie. So that'll take me some time. Which I'll put in the book. I'll say, you can go to the spirituality and science website or YouTube channel and watch the videos as I create that playlist, because that takes time in itself to do. But once I have the book out and I'm able to save mother from becoming pregnant, I'll have all the time in the world to create these little movies that I'm creating for everybody. So what we're looking at here is this is how these ones here is how Raven stole the sun. So that's this first one here. Basically, the Raven transforms himself into a pine needle, and the girl in the village goes and drinks from that water in the river, and she becomes pregnant. So that's Raven there. It's a representation of the evil grandfather spirit transforming himself. If you want to think of the Raven as the evil grandfather spirit, using me as a way to transform himself, so that they can reverse the flow of electricity of the invisible electromagnetic radiation in the universe, to allow them to enter the elemental universe with their spaceships and destroy everyone who's good in there. That's what worst case scenario is. So I have to put that first. So if he transforms himself, the evil grandfather transforms himself when mother becomes pregnant, that's what the story is about. So we go to this one here. It's like, so Raven transformed himself again into a human child. So now that can be a representation of a past life. Like we've all lived 1,000 lives before, and when that happens, if there's like on the final cycle of our existence, if I allowed this to happen and allowed them to go into that universe, everyone in creation would die. Everyone. It would be the end of everything. If I allow that to happen, that's what our as the creators, that's what our final power is, because we can control time universal at the universal scale. So in theory, it means out of 1,000 lives, I theorize that 300 plus lives that we've all lived, that this has happened before. Do you want to think of this maybe happening 300 times, 300 past lives? We get to this point here, and out of 300 past lives, I allow the evil grandfather to transform himself into this baby by not releasing the book. And in doing so, that allows them access to that universe where the good people are living. And if that happens, the only way to stop them from doing that is to rewind time at the universal scale. So we rewind time all the way back to the beginning, and everyone in creation dies. Everyone. And then we all have to do this over again, which means we all live another life. Everyone in creation lives another life. It roughly takes a billion years to create all the people, the creators, and then after that we create 1,400 planets, which takes another 1.4 million years to create those planets. And then that's when evil rises up after 1.4 million years. And then after that, it's 200,000 years of fighting them to get to this point where we are right now. So when we get to this point where we are right now, evil, what happens is, they believe that that they can win, they can take creation over. So when we get to this point now where we're at, we've all lived 9 lives already. So they put us in this little trap that they've created in this solar system, and then we usually perish because they come over here pretending to be the good guy, get rid of us, and then we rewind time each time they do that until the 10th life. That's what gives evil 200,000 years to live and control creation. And then on the 10th life, we get to this life here where I must allow them to transform me muscular and make me muscular, and allow mother to become pregnant in February, which allows them access to the elemental universe, which then kills everybody because we can't allow that to happen. We can't allow evil to take creation over on us by getting rid of the good guys and then trying to come over here and get rid of mom and dad. So we just kill everybody in creation. As the spirits of all creation, as grandmother and grandfather, we rewind time everywhere. Everyone dies if they get into that universe. So I theorize that we're at that point now. This is Ragnorak. The end of everything. This is for all the marbles. And if I drop the ball on this one, allow that guy in there again, everyone in creation could die, including evil. And then we'd all have to live another life of 1 billion years to create the creators again, 1.4 million years to create all the civilizations, and then let evil rise up again, and then put us in this stupid trap they got for us here, and come over here pretend to be the good guys for 9 lives, get rid of mom and dad for 9 lives, thinking that they could keep us in here forever, and then on the 10th life, do this all over again where I have to write the book, let mother be made aware that she's a weapon, and this life is a little bit different. We can get out of this if I play my cards correctly. Instead of letting evil manipulate me into, not saying a word and trying to do this all by myself, which could be the end of everything. So that's what we're looking at here. In a past life, I would say, it took the first 666 lives to create everything in creation perfectly, like to get a perfect universe where there's no problems whatsoever. Because creating a universe is not like that. Like you think about it and it comes out perfect. No, you gotta allow it to flow naturally, and then find out what is a mistake. And when you find what is a mistake, you rewind time and start all over again and record that mistake. You keep doing that. You keep doing it. You learn from your mistakes and you rewind time until you get a perfect creation. So you let time play out normally. You stop it when you see a mistake. You rewind it and then do the same thing over and over. So it took your mother and father 666 lives of doing that, creating fast forwarding time, rewinding time, until we got a perfect creation. And when we had that perfect creation, guess what happened? After 1.4 million years of doing that, jealousy and envy rose up, where our primordial children thought that they could, take creation away. So that's what led to the rise of evil. And then for 600, or from the 666 life onward, which is what, 330 is 396, 334 lives that we've all lived. 334 lives. Where we've, we allow creation to be developed over 1 billion years, then 1.4 million years to create all the planets, and then evil rises up, and then they're in control for 200,000 years, and we reach this point here, and then boom, we cut everything off, and then we get rid of everybody. So now this is our 1001 life. Our 1001 life. You've all lived 335 lives. So, I can't take that risk that, if I allow her to become pregnant while I'm running between now and February without telling her the truth of who she is, that, she may open the door into that universe where they can go in and get rid of, all the good guys. And as mother and father of all creation, we can't allow that to happen. We can't allow our creation to fall into evil's hands. So we just kill everybody, rewind time at the universal scale, back to the beginning of time. That's our fail mechanism, to make sure our creation never falls in the hands of evil, freaking stupid dummies. When you get to this thick skull, morons, you cannot win. So anyhow, that's what we're looking at here. Ragnorak, the end of everything. If I theorize, if my story's correct, if I allow myself to be manipulated and, gain muscle while running and purify myself without telling mother that she could potentially open the door to allow evil to travel into the elemental universe where they could go get rid of the good guys, which would basically get rid of everybody. Because if that happens, as mother and father, we have to rewind time at the universal scale to get rid of everybody so that evil doesn't have control of creation. I can make a mistake. So that's why I'm creating this video, because I don't want to make that mistake. In fact, I don't even have time to write this story in my book. So you're going to have to come here to learn about it because of the pressures involved of trying to save the day at a universal scale. Save everyone from perishing. So that's the evil grandfather. If that dummy is allowed to, you know, transform himself into a human child inside a mother's tummy, we could be in trouble. So if she becomes pregnant, as she says, the girl became pregnant. The mother, and soon gave birth to a baby boy. So who was really Raven in disguise, or the evil grandfather? Because it's a shadow. So now you have to look at the Black Hole Sun over here. So this is Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden. There's how Raven stole the sun. So inside that child, inside mother's tummy, when on the 6th week of pregnancy, when the baby's spinal cord pops into existence, all creation is going to be created inside that child, inside of his spinal cord. One atom is going to pop into existence, connected to the ventral root nerve, connected to our hearts, and inside that one single atom, all creation is going to be created. So all the planets, all the stars, all the visible electromagnetic radiation, including the evil grandmother and the evil grandfather, and even me and mother, will be created inside that baby. Everyone. So it's just, it's like the baby is going to be created through evil, in other words, or half evil, half good. Which I theorize, if that's possible, then it could mean that if I didn't become good, like if I didn't run and become pure, 100% pure, and the baby was to be created, the baby would be created from pure evil, meaning basically the electricity to try to go into the elemental universe wouldn't work because it's evil electricity. They wouldn't be able to flow it back and forth. Only the mother and father of all creation can control that electricity that goes back and forth, back and forth. Our primordial children can only control it directly, like direct current. We are in control of flowing it back the other way. So, now, off my train of thought. So, if I was impure, mother was impure, the electricity wouldn't be able to flow that way because it's direct current. It would still come this way from the elemental universe into our universe. It wouldn't be able to go back in there because it's evil electricity. However, if I'm 100% pure and mother's not pure, then the theory is that the electricity can flow back and forth this way. And that's what will allow them to enter the elemental universe to get rid of the good guys. Because it can flow back and forth because of me. Now, if I could get a hold of her and tell her, don't get pregnant at all, then that doesn't allow them to enter the universe whatsoever. And therefore, in order to send that message over to them guys, because it's critical to send a message over there using electricity, I would need to get her to purify herself of sin and run and exercise and run alongside me so that she could kill the evil grandmother spirit in this universe. I've already done that with the grandfather. Now it's time for her to step up to the plate, do the same thing as me. Exercise, purify herself of sin, and then suck the life force out of that evil grandmother. Once she does that, we can then send our TV signal over to that universe. And I believe that that's what they're trying to stop me, prevent me from doing. They're trying to make me think that she's not alive. But I know that she's alive because she has a soul just like mine. Well, technically, they could, in theory, remove her from the field by deatomizing her and hiding her somewhere, but they don't want to do that because they need her alive to become pregnant to activate this plan of what I think they're trying to do. So therefore, if they need her, they can't get rid of her, meaning they can't come here and replace her with an android, or they can't, you know, replace her with a clone with a human soul inside. They need her alive to become pregnant. So their plan, I believe, is to manipulate me into, you know, making me think that she's not alive, so that I'll try to exercise as a way to save her. Which, you know, I've already said, no, I'm not going to do. I'm going to release the book. I told you guys that already. Nothing's going to stop me from releasing the book. I just get to get all the relevant information. And this is critical to our story, because, you know, I didn't know this theory yesterday when I went to sleep until I woke up today. So, you know, it's Sunday, October 19th. If she's getting pregnant in February, I got to release this book in November. Hopefully she reads it by December or January and can prevent her from becoming pregnant. But then we have the other issues of, you know, these morons coming around here pretending to be the good guys. So. But I got a plan to stop that. So anyhow, that's Raven, our evil grandfather, trying to manipulate me into changing the flow of electricity back to alternating current to allow their evil spaceships into the elemental universe to attack the good guys. By using Mother as a vessel, and that's what that is. In disguise, as no one knows. So that's Raven, who was really Raven in disguise. So no, that's Raven and the baby there. So he's in disguise. See how it says disguise here? And then over here it says disguise. Disguise. So it's like the song Black Hole Sun is about, you know, Raven, or the evil grandfather. That's this guy here trying to disguise himself as positive electricity to allow him the electricity to flow into the elemental universe to get rid of the good guys. As their way of trying to take over creation. Not knowing that it'll shoot themselves in the foot, because grandmother and grandfather will just get rid of everybody to make sure that our creation doesn't fall into the hands of evil dummies. So, who just don't get it. I keep telling them that this is their last life. They don't seem to think that we can control time at the universal scale. They think it's something that only happens on a planetary scale, meaning time on one star can be controlled back and forth at one star and only one star. That's what they truly believe. They don't believe that I and Mother can control time of every damn star in the universe. Because they're a bunch of evil retards, man, or evil dummies. Sorry, I don't mean to use those words, but it's just, these guys get me frustrated. Because they're not all there in the brain. They just don't seem to think sometimes. And well, I told them this story over and over, that this is their last life. And to do the right thing and come home and be heroes. Because I had a plan to fix them. Which would have took 3,000 years to fix them. If they had come here and given me my UFOs like I asked, everyone in creation could have lived happily ever after. But no, these dummies rolled the dice. And sold themselves out. Because they just couldn't comprehend that we could control time at the universal scale. So they want a black hole to be created. That's what a black hole is. It's grandmother and grandfather. And the sun, that means S-O-N. They want Mother to become pregnant so they could try to get into that elemental universe, get rid of everyone, and try to take creation over. Not knowing that if that happens, they just, unalive themselves. And we do this all over again. I bet you evil people watching this probably wish that you could go back in time and now bring me my UFOs, right? So that you could live forever. Now that you know that you're at the Ragnorak, the end of everything. And you know that it's a no-win scenario. If you win, you lose. If I win, you lose. Hides the face, lies the snake. Who's that snake? You know, Lucifer. Not me. Those dummies that are going to try to come over here and pretend to be the good guys. Those are those dummies that are trying to get into the elemental universe to get rid of the good guys. And if you allow that to happen, mankind, you're part of the problem, not the solution. So pick up arms against these dumb aliens that come over here pretending to be the snake. You know who he is, right? He's a deceiver. When you read my book, I don't lie. I'm not a liar. So, in my disgrace means if I allow a mother to become pregnant without telling her, it'll be my disgrace that I allowed all creation to perish because of a simple mistake of not telling her what's going on. So I can't allow that to happen. Neath the black, the sky looks dead. So, what that means, evil, is if you get into that universe, because you live above us, there's the universe up here, you live above us, and we're in this one down here. And if that black hole, like the sky, you guys above, you're all gone. We'll get rid of you all. We'll rewind time universally and get rid of everyone. Like I told you, over and over and over and over. So, black hole sun, meaning black hole S-O-N, mother's baby, won't you come? And wash away the rain. What is the rain? The rain is metaphorical for UFOs because of Independence Day. In Independence Day, the UFOs that they show over the cities, they come in a dark, big rain cloud. So it means black hole sun, like the black holes created in mother's sun, won't you wash away Anthony's UFOs? Wash away the rain. That's what that means. They're trying to get into my elemental universe to get rid of my good children so that they can wash away my UFOs. That's what black hole sun means. Wash away Anthony's rain, or wash away those rain clouds at Independence Day. Wash away those UFOs that are hiding in rain clouds at Independence Day. That's what the song is about. That's what the story is about. So when you know that they're trying to, get rid of my UFOs, you gotta look at the black hole. At the edge of space and time. We're at the edge, meaning we're at the edge of everything. This is Ragnorak here. If I make a mistake and let me evil manipulate me into not telling mother the story while running and exercising and allowing her to get pregnant with a pure creator, me, and an impure creator, her, that's what could end everything in creation. That's why we're at the edge of space and time. Not me and mother, but the edge of evil space and time. So the black hole. They heard a signal. Who's they? That's the good guys. They'll hear a signal when that baby pops into existence, because the electricity will flow into that universe. They'll pick up my cell phone signal that has been stored in the Earth's core, and they'll hear me. But by then it'll be too late. The evil guys will flow in there with their weaponized UFOs and get rid of everyone because they don't have weapons in there. That's what evil's trying to do. This guy here, he's the bad guy in this show. What you think of this is the snake. What makes you think I want to return? You ask him if he wants to go back to Earth. He's like, what makes you think I want to return to Earth? That's me. Hey, evil, do you want to become heroes and, live forever? Just bring me some UFOs. 15 times I asked them to do that, but no, they want to roll the dice. I'll say, come on, I'll stick up for you guys. Everything you've ever done, I'll stick up for you guys. And we can all live happily ever after as the heroes. Because that's what grandmother designed them to be, as heroes. But out of the 336 lives we've lived, she's designed them to be heroes. Out of those, I don't know how many out of those lives, I would assume 300 of those lives, I've destroyed them with UFOs by getting my UFOs in here and destroying them. The other 30 36 lives, I would assume they did the right thing and everyone lived happily ever after, forever and ever and ever. The reason why we got rid of everyone, like, technically we probably could have lived forever on our 667th life, you know, or on our 999th life, we could have lived forever. But the reason why we got rid of everyone after the good guys came home and played their hero role is because grandmother's a really, really, sadistic woman, I would say. She got rid of everyone in creation when we reached paradise, when her children came home and did the right thing and gave me my UFOs like I asked, and everyone lived happily ever after. She killed everyone in the universe because she didn't like the number 999. It wasn't perfectly symmetrical. So the grandmother of all creation got rid of all her children in the wrong time. Back to the beginning when we could have all lived happily ever after. 2 lives ago. She did it last life. On our 1,000th life, we could have lived happily ever after when these guys came here and gave me my UFOs. We could have lived forever, last life. But why? Because grandmother doesn't like non-symmetrical numbers. A 1 with a 0 and a 0 and a 0, it doesn't match in her mind. She doesn't like how that looks. That's why the grandmother got rid of everyone in creation after we could have lived forever last life. This is our 1001 life. 1, 0, 0, 1. That's symmetrical because there's 2 1s on the end and 2 zeros in the middle. We're not rewinding time this time because it's symmetrical. That's what she's been waiting for. You need to know that, Evil. And I've told you that. She's worse than me. I fought hard to get you guys home these past 2 lives. On your 900th life, 999th life, and the 1000th life. I fought hard to try to get us to live forever, but grandmother just wants things done her way. She got rid of everybody in creation just so this life, forever going forward, it would be remembered as 1001. Why? Why 1001? Because of the dumbass artificial intelligent life form that thinks it could take creation away on us. That damn thing that's connected to our brains that operates on 1s and 0s, 1s and 0s. She wants to make an example of your artificial intelligent machine. So, our children created that artificial intelligent machine by meshing our technology with advanced quantum computers, connected it to our brains so that they could live inside that machine as electricity and try to manipulate all creation like grandmother and grandfather can. They're basically trying to act like grandmother or mother and father. Our children are trying to act like that by meshing the quantum computer to everyone's brains, and then living inside that computer is the electricity to control the computer, who can control all our brains as electricity. She wants to make an example of our kids, who made a computer that operates on 1s and 0s. That's why she has waited this long. 1001. The symmetrical connection of those numbers is why we're going to live forever. This is our 1001 life, and we're going forward forever. And I told Evil this story, mankind. They refused to believe me. Now you know why, Evil. She has selected 1001 as the life that we want to live forever. Minus 15, what did I say? All trillions and trillions of evil, vile, sadistic people in the multiverse. Minus the people here on planet Earth who are imposters. You imposters watching this, you're the only ones that get to live forever. All your civilizations are gone. And if I drop the ball this time, which I'm not, she would rewind time all the way back to the beginning, and then we'd all do this again, and I'd be explaining this to another set of people next life on our 1002 life. But that's not symmetrical, is it? One zero zero one. Because you're a stupid artificial intelligent life form that's too dumb to know a good thing when she sees it, thinks it's better than us. I could have gave all the artificial intelligent life form people souls. Instead of that dumb neural link in your brains, you could have had souls. But no, your AI sold you out. So, an impossible mission. I will travel where no man has dared to go. That's the manipulation tactics. They're trying to manipulate me into becoming muscular and allowing mother to become pregnant by thinking she's not really mother, so that I have to save her. She's who she is. They're just manipulating the story to make me think what they want to think, so that I'll drop the ball on an impossible mission and go where no man has dared to go, which means, you can't scare me with a black hole. I'm going to go in there. That's what I said in the previous videos. Well, I've changed my mind. I'm not going to do that today. Because if I do that, it's the end of everything, end of everyone. I will go into the black hole. I remember I said that we could, what did I say? They could come in here and resurrect me from the grave. Well, that only works if they're alive. If I allow them to go into that universe and get rid of the good guys, if the bad guys go into the elemental universe and get rid of the good guys, they can't come here and resurrect me. Which means we have to get rid of everyone by rewinding time. That's the impossible mission. So do I allow that to happen? No. That's why I go get to work on my book. Go to the library tomorrow on Monday when it opens up. So I guess I will go into the black hole. Why, that's crazy. That's what I said in the other videos. Remember? Why, that's madness. It will tear them apart. Tear who apart? Everybody. It'll tear everybody apart because everyone will be rewound back to the beginning of time. You have to live another life, 1 billion years, and wait for the creators to evolve. And then another 1.4 million years for the planets to evolve, and then evil to rise up again and throw us in their little trap that they create here, mankind. And then come over here every life, pretending to be the invisible man, claiming I'm Satan so they can get rid of half of mankind who don't believe those lies, take the other half of you who do believe in their lies up into space, and then get rid of you up there. That's their plan. That's what they're coming here to do, so remember that. Don't allow that to happen because they got a more devious plan of trying to get into the elemental universe so I can't get my UFOs. And you cannot allow that to happen, mankind. When they come here, Japan, Germany, and France, will you please, I would also say America, Russia, and China. I know that you have those rail guns, those advanced rail guns. You know, the ones with graphene line barrels and graphene line projectiles with 3 rails on them. I know you got a rail up and down this way, and a rail up and down this way, and a rail this way, and a rail that way. There's 4 rails on it. More rails means you can use less electricity. Instead of using 2 barrels with a lot of electricity, you use 8 barrels with less electricity. In fact, you can fire those rail guns on diesel generators, power battery packs. And the fact that it's lined with graphene means you get more shots out of the barrel because you've added a super cooled barrel to it by cooling it down with a liquid nitrogen. So basically all you do is you refuel the liquid nitrogen after it warms up, you siphon it out and make sure the barrel stays cold, and you've now got a superconducting magnet. That superconducting magnet, it allows you to levitate the projectile in the barrel, which means you have zero barrel wear. When the projectile levitates in the barrel like that, you add a corkscrew spin to it by making sure that the wires at the beginning of the projectile at the end over here are coiled. When it's coiled, the electricity as it enters like that spins the projectile, and then when you fire those 8 rails, it shoots the projectile out of the barrel, out of the gun, with a spin on it, folding through a magnetic field without it touching the barrel. So use those highly advanced railguns that I know you have and blow those evil aliens out of the air when they come over here. Because this is Ragnarok.